So last week I was at a networking event and the topic was about better prompting. Like, how can we as business owners do better prompting? I thought it was a bit of an odd topic. I don't talk prompting much anymore. But this was a lot of sharp, smart people. I was excited to hear what they were doing. But when it came to my turn, I was actually the only one who talked about trying to prompt less in 2026. That I wasn't really concerned with prompting anymore, that I was trying to build world models or business models, context models. And this caught, I was surprised, but it caught quite a few people off guard as I talked about this. They had never really heard of this before. And so they had a lot of questions, naturally. These are smart people. And I keep seeing this gap show up everywhere from enterprise level businesses all the way down to small businesses. So 4,500 CEOs were polled here in this past year. 56% said AI produced zero revenue or cost benefit in the past year. Only 30% said revenue went up. And the diagnosis was that people who are personally really good with AI assume that skill transfers to implementing AI across all businesses. But I'm finding that not to be true. So I went back to the drawing board earlier this year and I solved how to implement AI into my business first. So this is applicable to medium and small size businesses. I call it the 10-80-10 model. So humans do the first 10%, AI does the middle 80, and the last 10% again is human led. It's the QA part, it's the verification, it's the taste. And the way I got there was not through successful prompting. So there's a company that I came across a few weeks ago that I think illustrates a lot of what we're seeing go wrong in AI really well. It's a company most people never heard of from the early 90s called General Magic. Mark Porat, the CEO, he came from Apple. Bill Atkinson, he software engineer that designed the Macintosh. Andy Hertzfield, lead software architect from the original Mac. And it's a fascinating story that I think has a lot of happened in the 90s before any of the AI stuff, but it's a fascinating story I think we can all learn quite a bit on before we make these mistakes with AI. So it spun out of Apple in the early 90s, obviously. These people came from Apple. One of the most visionary teams ever assembled. They had unlimited funding, they had unlimited talent, and the team, they were just brilliant engineers that were basically said, here's all the money you need, go build whatever you want. So some of these people theorized many of the things we use today before they were ever actually built. So some pretty incredible things. They were envisioning things like the iPod and iPhone, Android type devices, the USB-C drives, and the company eventually crashed. You haven't heard about it because they were given unlimited freedom. And so what's the parallel to us today is that AI has given us businesses unlimited freedom. We're able to build whatever we want. Used to take time. And so we're all running in a million directions with AI. We all have anybody who's good at AI inside these companies are essentially their own solopreneurs doing their own things. So in a regular business, this didn't even work for a visionary business, let alone a regular business. We've been given the ability to do whatever we want, and it's not going well. So we think about what other analogies or what other parallels can we have when at the AI? So, virtual assistants have been around now for 15, 16 years. So we've always had the ability to outsource that. I think this is a good place to understand the problem with AI. And if you talk to any virtual assistants, they'll tell you most of their poor companies just hand them stuff and believe they can do it. And this is what I'm also seeing with AI. People are just handing it stuff thinking that the AI can do it. But what are we not doing? We're not building the world model. We're not building the context model or the business model. So, the title of this was How Do You Make Money with AI in 2026? And the way to do that is making good operational decisions. And that's the secret. That's how I got good results out of AI. It was making better operational decisions that allowed for AI to layer into the business. So certain things like we weren't tight on, and I had to get tight on them if I wanted to be able to spec it out for the AI. And when I'm talking to a business and says, well, I just hand it to AI, well, what's your spec? What's your SOP? What's your checklist? Oh, I don't know. The AI will figure that out. No, no, it won't. So the judgment on how you do the thing that you do matters. And that's where your world model comes from. Can you say what done looks like for everything that you deliver? If you can't, there's no way to get an AI to do it, let alone somebody in your company is going to have mixed results as well. So as leaders, we have to remember that AI doesn't fix the problems. It's just going to compound them if they exist. So in solving for AI, you have to solve for your business operations first. And everybody's excited about AI, me included. I love talking about it, although I'm slowing down about it because I'm finding people are struggling with this concept or don't like to hear that it's just business operations. But it's the stuff that always worked, the boring, the monotonous, the tracking your results, the doing the right things. If those things are tight, you're ready for AI. If those things are sloppy or loose or you don't have a good handle on that, no amount of AI is going to fix that problem.